Now, we are nowhere near where we're supposed to be for today's episode. In fact, we haven't even played any matches after the sporting game, but we have got the Next Gen 2024 50 Best Wonderkids in Football, and we have Youssoufa Moukoko as number 1. Southampton's Youssoufa Moukoko as number 1. That's just nuts, isn't it? That's absolutely nuts. Considering he's been rubbish for half of the season, that's pretty impressive. Also, Paul Wanner is on that list. And we also have our new summer signing in the top 10 as well. If you haven't worked out by now, we're signing Endrick, okay? He's joining in the summer. Next season, we're going to have Moukoko and Endrick as our 2 strikers, which is why I've been trying to get a 2-striker formation going, because I want Endrick and Moukoko playing next to each other. That's going to be ridiculous. I'm also interested to find out who the Scottish Radamel Falcao is and the next Thorgan Hazard. Not Eden, Thorgan. Surely this is the next Thorgan Hazard. Does it actually say the next Thorgan? Yes, okay. The next Thorgan Hazard. That's weird. And the Scottish Radamel Falcao is Ethan Laidlaw. Does it say he's the Scottish Radamel Falcao? No, it doesn't. Okay. I mean, he looks pretty decent, doesn't he? On loan from Hibs. He actually does look quite tasty. Just having a look through at some of the new gens that are also on this list. This is number 50. It's interesting. I don't think it's that exciting, though. Anybody else who is a new gen on the list who we can take a look at? Yes, we have you playing for Antwerp. Doesn't look amazing. We also have George Caicedo for Millonarios, which this is an interesting one. I'm tempted to stick some money in here. The final one on the list we can't afford because he plays for Atletico Madrid is Ezekiel Wakwai, might be his name. Already played twice for the first team. He doesn't look amazing. I mean, he looks good, but he doesn't look amazing, does he? Anyway, we're now going to go forward then and play the Newcastle games. We're going to play the Newcastle games in the Europa League. Fun. Anyway, we are now ready for our Newcastle game. We've played Brighton off camera. We've beaten them. I think it was 2-1. I've already forgotten. I did it a while ago. There's a big gap between the last clip and this clip. Anyway, we won the game. That's all that matters. It's going to be Bazunu, Livramento, Howard Bellis, Salisu and Walker-Peters in defence. Onyeka, Lavia, Ward-Prowse in midfield. Brobby, Adams and Moukoko leading the line. If I ask the assistant to pick, Moukoko doesn't get anywhere near the starting 11, and I don't know why. So Newcastle, obviously very, very good, and they've had a lot of investment. Gvardiol seems new, and Didi Milenkovic as well, all new. So it looks like they've actually got a brand new back four. We've only improved since the start of the game. Howard Bellis, Onyeka, Brobby, and Moukoko. That's it. Everyone else is original Southampton players. Newcastle have probably gone for a huge, huge amount of rotation. And 1 minute and 15 on the clock already. Newcastle have the ball. It's Vegas with it. I've never heard of Vegas. Is he somebody I should know of? Milenkovic to Guimaraes. And now Mateus, is it Nunes? I never know. It's when they have their squad names or their shirt names, I don't know. Alexander Isak scored. It's 1-0 after 1 minute and 40 seconds. Well, that's not really the start that we wanted, is it? It is already the first and only chance has ended up in the back of the net. And now we're, 20 minutes in? And nothing else has happened. Half an hour in, and still nothing has happened. We've had a couple of shots. Looks like Newcastle have had a couple of shots as well. But we've had literally no highlights other than the opener. And this is starting exactly the same way the opener did as well. St. Maximin to Bruno. Ball in towards Mateus in the middle. Left-hand side is St. Maximin once again. Tino's with him. Tino's chasing him down, but St. Maximin even gets past. Shot isn't the best. Straight into the hands of Bazunu. About 30 seconds left to play the first half and another highlight, but we have the ball deep, deep in our own territory. Ward-Prowse loses out. That's a good tackle, but we've still not got the ball. Newcastle keeping hold of it on the right-hand side. Poor pass. Walker-Peters collects. Salisu. What are we doing? Why are we not just lumping it up the pitch? There we go. Towards Adams. Doesn't win the header. Ward-Prowse can nick that. Left-hand side was Brobby. The ball should have been Moukoko. He does eventually get it into the penalty area. Goes for goal. Not the best effort. Nick Pope holds on to that one. Still not even at half-time. Onyeka with the ball. Still, again, deep, deep in our half. Salisu's just gone for a big kick upfield. Vegas intercepts it. Bruno back to Wilfred Ndidi, playing as a centre-back, which... That's not his position, is it? He's more of a defensive midfielder. St. Maximin with it. Left-hand side is Josko Gvardiol. Lots of space. Doesn't use it. Instead goes all the way back to Vegas again. Ruben Neves to Bruno. Now Mateus. Right-hand side is Alvarez, who got the assist for the opener. Is he going to get himself a second? Walker-Peters does enough to slow him down. Brobby's trying to slow Milenkovic down. Livramento clears it. This highlights all over the place. I think there's a goal. Almost a goal. St Maximin over the bar. So, half-time then. It is 1-0 to Newcastle, and we've not been very good. We've created very little. That team talk worked quite well. One thing I have noticed in between episodes is match ratings aren't right. They're not accurate at all. Yusufa Makoko won Young Player of the Month or second place Player of the Month, and it said his average rating was a 7.38. I did the maths, and it was like a 6.7. I don't know what's going on. Mateus has the ball. Loud vehicle goes past. As always, you have to expect it now in one of my videos. In towards Isak in the middle. It's a good clearance from Harwood Bellis. Highlight isn't over, surely. It's not over. Makoko collects the ball. Brobby on the left-hand side. Needs some real support. Back towards Onyeka on the centre circle. Livramento with space. Through ball finds Adams. We need to get numbers in the box. We've got one man in the box. Livramento collects it. Plays it across to Makoko. Tries a little flick towards the goal. Doesn't manage to get it past Nick Pope. So we don't get players in the box. That's what I've just spotted from that tactic, or that highlight, sorry. We don't get players into the box. We're going to do a couple of changes. We're going to do Lavaja coming on. He's returned from his injury. He's still not 100% fit, but he's back. We're also going to take off Onyeka for Winks. This game is to be won. There is still time in this match for us to get at least an equaliser and ideally a winner. What was that throw from Livramento? That doesn't make sense. I've seen that a few times now in the match engine where we just throw it over all of our players straight to one of theirs. Gvardiol with the ball on the left-hand side and a yellow card. Ruben Neves with a yellow card. Vegas with a yellow card. Newcastle are a dirty team by the looks of it. Sorry for the continual breaks in highlights. I live on a main road and 3 ambulances have gone past my house during this one match. So, yeah, that's why it keeps stopping. Barclay's keeping that ball in on the right. 67th minute. Crosses it towards the back post. Isak is there. Straight over the bar. Livramento probably should have done something. We're getting the chances again. We've got an XG of 1, so have Newcastle, and we've not scored a goal. Ward-Prowse with a corner. Harwood Bellis is there, doesn't bother jumping. And now we've just let Isak chase that down, and nobody's decided to follow him back, apart from Harwood Bellis. So all the way back to Gvardiol. Final 10 minutes of the match. The highlights carrying on. St Maximin's in on goal, and that's going to surely go in. I thought Salisu was just going to tuck that into the bottom corner. St Maximin with the corner for Newcastle then. Are they going to double their lead? We are away from home. Things we need to cling hope to. We're away from home. You'd expect us to lose a match away from home against a ridiculously good and very expensive Newcastle team. Willock, edge of the area, tries to get some space, weaving away. Highlight ends. Okay. Final couple of minutes of the match. I'm not going to bother doing any subs because at this point, we're not going to score. We're not going to get any highlights either. It's a 1-0 defeat and we should have scored a goal. We should have scored a goal. We didn't score a goal. Unlucky. Unlucky, boys. Brobby, not happy with your performance. Makoko, you let yourself down. Adams, you let yourself down. I'm not happy with you, I guess, is what we'll say there. I mean, look at the match ratings. They're all over the place. Well, the one silver lining then, I guess, is no injuries. And also, we have still got one more match to play against Newcastle, and it's only 1-0. We're going to go forward now. We have Manchester United to play in the league. We're going to come back to the other side of that, ready for the Newcastle game, where we need to make sure that we win. Right, we played Man United, and, yep, we lost 5-0. Not only did we lose 5-0, we also picked up an injury to Salisu and Harry Winks, although Winks is only for a few days. Salisu is out for potentially up to 3 weeks, which is not ideal. It means it's going to be Bazunu in goal, Livramento, Harwood Bellis, Chaleta Sarr coming in for Salisu and Walker Peters on the left-hand side. Onyeka, Lavia, Ward-Prowse, Brobby, Adams and Lavaja leading the line today because Makoko, even though he's started scoring again, he's still not scoring again. He's not scoring anywhere near enough goals for my liking. Lavaja has scored 13. He does get a lot of goals, but most of them seem to be off the bench. Also, Shea Adams has scored 8 goals since January. He's started to score goals all over the place, and I don't know why it took him so long, but he's starting to get back in the run of scoring goals and actually catching up. If he can get into double figures, that's 3 players with double figures for the season, and then all we need to do is work out to actually get them consistently scoring in games, not we'll win a game 3-0 and lose a game 3-0. Let's win 2 games 2-1, for example. That kind of thing. Let's try and go for that, shall we? Lavaja loses out to Bruno. Willock collects it. 10 minutes on the clock on the south coast. Mateus Uribe. That's his name, Mateus Uribe. Milenkovic down the line. Brobby steals it. Brobby doesn't steal it. Brobby still hasn't got it. Brobby control the ball. Pass it to somebody. Or do that upfield towards Willock. Or Lavia. Great. It's working. It's working. It's not working. Matt Target intercepted it. Ndidi to Milenkovic on the right-hand side, inside his own half, but just about. So far, this highlight's done nothing. No shots, no anything has happened in this highlight, and it's been about a minute. Bruno's ball forward, Isak's in on goal, probably one-on-one with the keeper. He is one-on-one with the keeper, and Isak makes it 1-0. Immediately, 10 minutes into the second match, it's 1-0 to Newcastle. About 2 minutes into the first match, it was 1-0 to Newcastle. Did we not listen for the whistle at the start of the game? 25 minutes now on the clock. Are we actually going to do anything? Looking at this map here, I don't even know what this is. Are we doing all of our attacks down the right-hand side? Is this our problem? Are we too predictable? They just try everything down one flank, whereas we just get found out every single time. Milenkovic with the ball to Uribe. What are you going to do? Backwards to Wilfred Ndidi. Now Bruno inside our half. We've got a minute and a half of normal time plus injury time. Willock doesn't get there. Harwood-Bellis wins the headed effort. And now Adams collects. Right-hand side is Livramento. Needs to use his pace to get past Matt Target and just passes to Matt Target. It's not what we wanted, mate. It's really not what we wanted at all. The left-hand side now has left a huge gaping hole for St. Maximin to go towards goal. Bazunu can stop that one. Right, we need to change this. We need to change you to be a wing-back on attack. I think you're far too far up the pitch. I think this is causing us some issues. Corner for Newcastle then. St. Maximin to take it. We've got 30 seconds plus a minute. Corner comes in. Livramento can clear that one now, playing in his new role as a wing-back on attack rather than a complete wing-back on attack, which still might not be a good idea. It genuinely might not be a good idea. Thrash arms, terrible. Terrible performance so far. Livaja, come off. I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to sub him there. I don't think that's ever worked, has it? Livaja for Makoko. Straight swap. Let's go straight into the second half. Hopefully the youngster can do something. 60 minutes on the clock and nothing. Just absolutely nothing is happening at the moment in this match. Onyeka is not doing too well. He's fitness-wise, I mean. He's actually playing reasonably well. We're going to do Blanco coming on. Chaleta is rubbish, isn't he? He's never played well, so Kasunu's going to come on. Do we do anything else? Go away, Brian. They're also saying Walker Peters for Botta, so I think we'll do that one as well. We've got one more sub to do. I'm hoping we can get back into this game, but we are 2-0 down now. There's been no highlights in the second half at all. We've not seen a single thing take place in the second half. Newcastle, I imagine, have shut up shop. Oh, marvellous. Kasunu's gone and got himself injured. So this is going to be our final sub then. So it's going to be Bella Kotchap coming on. That's literally nothing's happened. Maybe something's going to happen. We've got seconds left to play. Taylor Harwood-Bellis has scored. Okay, well, we've got a goal back. We're just going to go very attacking for the final injury time that we're already well over the injury time. The full-time whistle goes. What? We saw none of this. We saw none of that action at all. There were no highlights until the Harwood-Bellis goal. Looking at the match ratings, they weren't bad, were they? But Newcastle just scored a lucky goal early on in both games. I've just got an achievement saying they're neutral, and I don't know what that means. Okay, apparently it means I've retrained a player to be natural in a new position. I don't know what that player is and why it's come up after the match against Newcastle, but sure. Can we even find out? Is it going to tell us? I imagine it probably won't tell us at all. So, we're out of the Europa League. Kasunu is out for 10 weeks with a dislocated shoulder, or maybe 8 weeks now. Lavia is probably tired, so probably Brobby. We've picked up a bit of cash. Livramento suspended. Something's not working quite right, is it? I'm desperately trying to find out who I've retrained, like, to be natural in their new position. I don't know who it's going to likely be. Is it going to be somebody like an Onyeka? Maybe? I mean, I'm training up to be a box-to-box midfielder, so probably not. The only one I'm really retraining somewhere else is Dujon Sterling as a left winger, and he's not able to do it. So I don't know why I got that achievement. Anyway, that is going to do it for what is most likely a very short episode. Next episode is going to be the final 2 games of the season. I don't think anything exciting is going to happen. We're probably going to finish maybe in Europe if we're lucky. Most likely where we are in the table right now, about 7th, 8th, 9th. That's probably where we're going to finish. So it's going to be Leeds and Liverpool in the final 2 games of the season. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back with the final episode of Season 2, ready for Season 3, and the new signing of Endrick, ready to join the club. Thanks for watching.